Hello, friend. I wanted to catch up with you on our 24 in 2024 book challenge. I hope that you have enjoyed reading some of the books along the way. And we're getting close to being halfway through here as we get into the summer. And if you haven't read all the books, don't worry about it. Some of these books are were kind of hard to get through. I'm going to talk about a few of them right here. But one of the reasons I'm giving you this video today is because I really wanted you to encourage you to just, if you got out of it or if you haven't ordered any books lately, I want to just encourage you to get back into the book challenge, because there's a couple of books coming up, especially one book coming up that is really great that I think you'll get a lot out of. And it's not necessarily an investment book, but I'll tell you about that here in just a second. But we've read a bunch of books so far. So if you remember, the first one was The Psychology of Money. Great book. If you've got this one, I would keep it on the shelf, read it again over and over from time to time. I got mine nice and highlighted there. We read The Investment Answer, short book. If you didn't read this one, it's super short book, and it has great stuff about investment philosophy, and it's really easy to read. So if you didn't read that one, grab that one. Then we have these two, which to be honest are real snoozers. So they are hard to get through, and they're both about college. They're great for a financial planner because there's tons of stuff in here I can help you read and help people with. But if you don't have anybody in college right now, I can understand why you wouldn't read it. But they are hard to get through. One thing that's really interesting is if you've been following the news at all, we have tons of these college issues right now going on, not related to college funding, but this one especially, where you go is not who you'll be. And one of the themes of these books really, and this has nothing to do with politics or protests or anything like that. This just says that the college that you go to, you don't have to go to a Harvard or a Yale or a Columbia or one of these type of places. These books really do sort of hammer that home, and they're great. They're great reads and just good things to think about when you're planning on where to go to college. So good books, hard to get through. Then this book was great, Trillions. If you know any of the names in finance, if you're a finance person, or if you're in the finance industry and you know some of the names in the industry, this is a great book. It tells a story about just how different things happen. Like take Jack Bogle, for example, the guy who founded Vanguard. It kind of deals with how that happened in here in a little bit more of a story format. And then we had this book, Misbehaving. To be honest, I never got through the entire book of this. I know a lot about Richard Thaler and a lot about behavioral economics. Still working through this one. It's very long, but good book too. If you didn't get this one, it's a good one to read. And then what we're doing right now is this book. And if you haven't ordered this book, this one is, Why Smart People, I can say it, Why Smart People Make Big Money Mistakes. And it's easy to read. And it kind of goes along with Misbehaving. This one's a little bit more academic. This one is it's definitely easier to read, and it's pretty short. So if you haven't gotten that one, I would suggest you get that. But like I was saying, one of the reasons for this video is that we have some books coming up that are not necessarily finance books. And one of my favorite books of all time is this one right here. It's coming up the first week of June is when we start reading this. So if you haven't ordered this book, or if you haven't thought about reading this book, I would definitely encourage you to get this one. Not a finance book. Cal Newport is a professor of computer science, I think at Georgetown maybe, and he's got so many great books out there. And this book right here, if you're interested in learning about how our minds have changed in the distracted world that we're in every single day, and how to get away from that, and how to go into what he calls deep work, which, just to give you a little clue, the opposite of that is shallow work, which a lot of us are in these modes now of working where our brains have just been trained in these like 30-second intervals all the time for videos and social media and all this kind of stuff. And this book is really the antithesis of that. So I would definitely encourage you to read this book. Then we have one after that called Humans Are Underrated. Haven't read this book, but it's basically talking about the value of human interaction, when in a world of AI that we're dealing with. So those are some of the books that are coming up. If you haven't, if you got away from the reading, or if you're still interested in doing the book club, I would encourage you to just go back and check out the page again and see what books we're reading. and just get back into it. So we've got a lot of great books coming up after that, some really good finance ones, and some, like I said, that aren't finance books. So anyway, hope you have a great weekend, and thanks for listening, and happy reading.